Wow. Barely looking up from my screen. Solely subs. How you doing, mate? Thanks very much. I'm still half setting up the Solly. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you. It's actually not too bad. I put a little fan on me. I've got this fan I'll just keep behind me. How's everyone doing? Elf King Alex, Izzy, how are we? How are we? Solly, thanks again for the sub. I am basically got everything ready, and I think we're just going to jump straight into GBL. Have I finished? I just finished watching England. You're right. Just finished watching England. I don't even know what to make of it. Like, part of me had resigned to the fact that we were out, so I just kind of was like, oh, I guess that's fine. You know, don't have to worry about this for the rest of the summer. But that was crazy. That was crazy. I'm very interested to see what people say about it. What the media is going to say about that performance, because those first 90 minutes was just embarrassing. Right. I think we are good to go. Do you know what happened to me earlier today, team? I was Thomas, how you doing? I was a bit offended earlier, right? Because I'd entered this Master League tournament hosted by Martine, by Anadicons, and I played my match, and I had quite a big team comp disadvantage, right? But I was like, it's fine. I can only do what I can do, right? So I just played it, and I feel like I read the teams well, and I played well, and I won. It's best of 5, and I won 3-0, and I was like, oh, cool. Bolly, how you doing, mate? So I won 3-0, and my opponent messages me, and he's being perfectly polite, and he's like, GG, and then he was like, okay, I need you to be honest. Did you have a coach with you? I was like, what? I was like, what the heck? What? Why would I need a coach? Patsy, how are you? And I was like, should I be offended at this? I was just like, what do you mean, do I have a coach? I was like, why would I need a coach? But I don't know if he realized how it came across, but it was just a bit like, I was like, no, dude, I just played well, and it's coming home. Tom, that was 90 minutes of pain, wasn't it? Oh, good shield. Okay, hopefully switch time is up soon, and then Polarath can come in. Actually, I can force them to throw their energy if they want. Who was the coach? Well, this is what I was trying to say. Daniel plays games. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. I was just like, I was a bit like, who, you know. Oh, it was a mud bomb one. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was just like, who are you expecting me to ask to be my coach? I was like, what? I don't understand. Don't really want to take another one. Django, maybe next match, Django. Next match I've got, maybe I'll say, hey, you can be my coach. Okay, I want to counter this down. Icy Wind, whatever comes through, and hope that Lickitung can beat it. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, no, that was super cool. That was super cool of you. I appreciated you. Okay, I'm hoping that I just full farm this down before and can get to 2 body slams. I don't want a defense drop, that'd be annoying. Okay, I think we should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, am I going to the local in a couple of weeks, Barley? You gotta tell me where it is. Or are you asking Matt? I think Dean has told me that there's 2 locals next weekend for me. So I will go to those. But one of them's on the same time as the next England game. Vampirist, I've just seen that. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate you. That's really kind of you. Thank you. You were asking Matt, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna come to Ipswich unless Dean drives me. Vampirist, how's your GBL run going, mate? What's the sauce these days? Oh my goodness, Sorley, what? Sorley, why do you do this? Team, can we give a huge thank you to Sorley for just being the most outrageously generous person that we know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lyle, how you doing? Lyle, Sorley's just doing Sorley things. No, we're not complaining. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. Dodged? Lyle, you've earned enough from this season's winnings, that's all I'm saying. How am I finding Dynamic Punch Polly? It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. I'm enjoying it. What was the lead? I'm not hugely paying attention to what's going on. Oh, it was a lantern, wasn't it? Okay, I think that's okay. Front-loading season, finding out they drop IC Travel Awards. Yeah, I think that's going to be massive, isn't it? That's going to be massive. I need to stop the farm down after this. Okay, so that's fine. So my understanding, based on these, based on the travel awards for international championships, is that the first events of the season and getting your locals done early, right? Very quickly, they start very soon, is the most valuable way to do it, right? Locals start this week. No, next week. Next weekend, right? So, highly recommend, if you've got access to locals, start them now. If you're able to get to the first events of the season. It's not based on last season, right? Or is it? Is it based on the highest CP place players a certain amount of time before this IC? Do you see what I'm trying to say? I don't think it's based on last season. Or is it? I don't know. I have no idea. You don't know where to look for the local lorks? Is that what you're asking? You don't know where to look for the local? After EUIC counts? How's that fair? How's that fair? Okay. Lorx, this one's for you, mate. This is the Play Pokemon website, right? All you just got to do is click up on where it says Play Pokemon up here, right? And then you can scroll down to find an upcoming play event. In the top left here, you just can't see it, it's behind my head. It's here is where you can type your city. So if I were to type London, I can filter by London. Then here's London. And then if you want to add other filters based on Pokemon Go, what date you want it to take place by, I'm happy to leave it, and extend the distance, whatever, like 100 miles. And then this will tell you what the locals are near you. So this is, what's this one? North London League, Pokemon Go July Challenge. Yeah, so I'll go to this one next week. And that's how you do it. Trek Toronto event? Sure. So here are your Toronto events. Will filter to end of July. So this is what you're working with, Lyle, is that right? Hey, turning up and having fun, Lorx, that's what it's about, right? You gotta start somewhere, Payne, how you doing? Lyle, look how many locals you have. This is actually quite a lot. Very, very close. Where have I gone? Toronto. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you've got a few. Sunday's good, Payne, thank you. It's been a good weather week for London. Almost too good. Sackett, how you doing? You've got only one local each month in Portsmouth, and your other local is Brighton. Yeah, I'm Comistic. I've actually had to travel to Brighton a couple of times to get to a local because the local that we've got in London, we've never had a cup in London. We have never had a cup in London, which I think is crazy. I always have to travel out of London to go to a local. Three, 4, 5. Yeah, the problem with London locals is you'd have to pay quite a lot for the venue, and so they've been struggling recently. Yeah, that Toronto's not the worst. Lyle, what are your thoughts on the Toronto Regional being in December? Are you happy with that? Does it make no difference? This might sound, as someone who hasn't been to an official local, what is the main point in going? I think there are a couple of points. So obviously it's good practice in terms of improving and getting better at the Show 6 format. You're meeting people. You're meeting just like PvP players, the community. You're giving yourself a potential to earn packs. So entry can often get you some of these prize packs if you're interested in those. One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, You can, if you do really well, you can get cash prizes, and obviously you can also get championship points. I'm hoping that they can carry on increasing the number of incentives to attend locals, because especially now that they've changed the system. Ooh, good pause. Now that they've changed the system so that top capped players will get to Worlds. Then it's not like the average local can say, at least I've got the championship points threshold to aim for. So it'd be good if they can introduce other things to improve that. Georgia 1-0 own goal. Who I don't actually know who they're playing. I don't know who they're. I actually, to be honest, I have not followed any of the Euros at all. I just haven't had time. 1 HP in the dream. Yeah, it was. That was Spain. That's kind of funny. I'm not a big fan of Georgia, to be honest. I went to Georgia once. I travelled there, and it wasn't the best experience. They were a bit, especially their border control. It was a bit dodgy. Lyle responded to my questions. Yeah. This is the thing. One of the things about trying to improve the game, obviously practice. Yeah, obviously practice. But also, I really do think it's helpful to be in and around players that are better than you. That's just a really good way to improve. You've got to be involved in the communities, you want to be playing against them, you want to be getting advice from them. It's very difficult if you isolate yourself into a little bubble and say, well, why aren't I improving? And similarly, if you were to get involved in your own PvP community, like, you should definitely do that, but also don't limit yourself to that. Don't, try and expand, try and go and explore different PvP communities. That's one of the reasons why I really like finding out what the APAC region are doing, how their events are going, what their meta's looking like, playing some of their players. I think this is just going to be I'm not going to actually bother playing this because they're going to have Wiggly or another Razor Leafer in the back. Oh, claim page of 100 wins. You're right. Sorry, you are right. Thank you, Costpant. Thank you for that. I had intended to do that and I forgot. Week before Christmas isn't amazing for traveling. Well, this is the thing. I think it was Sergio was like, "Hey, Freed, come to the Toronto regional," and I was like, "Hey, I'm open to it because Toronto is actually more doable than like West Coast US, for example." But week before Christmas is kind of sketch, I think. I can't. I don't know. I'd have to look into it, but I feel like that's going to be pretty difficult because of that timing. Yeah, exactly, Saka, exactly. Elephant Flash. Okay, is it Shadowclaw or Powder Snow? That's what we want to know. The weather's not too bad. See, Lyle knows me. I'm persuaded by weather. But I think it's just this case that it's going to be so expensive to travel back to London, I think, after that regional. I'll have a look into it. But it's a slightly awkward time of year. Christmas parties, already an expensive month generally. Am I doing many of the European regionals that have been announced? So my plan this season, Bowley, is to... My plan this season is to cast any events that I can, and then maybe play any events that I can't, that I'm not casting. That's all. That's all. It could be snowing, or possibly around 0 to 8 degrees. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, you're very kind. You're very kind. Do you know what I would really love? I'll tell you what I would really love is to be able to cast an IC at this season. I think that would be cool. Sandslash, Azumarill, Farah? Well, I hope so, because otherwise it's not going to be fun. I can't let them catch on the Sandslash, actually, can I? This is also good. The thing is, I'm not going to complain about this year at all. It was my first season. I only started at the beginning of the calendar year. I didn't even start at the beginning. And technically, I kind of needed my EUIC points to get my travel award. So, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Is there more announcements of regionals that will come? Yeah. We haven't had... As far as I know, that you don't know your second half of the season, right? I can't remember what was announced. I don't think second half of the season's been publicly announced, right? Yeah, exactly. So you've still got all of next season's announcements, right? Next calendar year's announcements. So the second half of the season still to come. Deleted before you could copy pasta it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I feel like I've got the most useless mods. Spare a moment to insult my mods and see if any of them actually decide to turn up this evening. Henry, how you doing? How's your weekend going? You wonder if Liverpool will be in January with EUIC now in Feb. Kelvin, how you doing? Kelvin, I need you to pick up on those messages. Expert? Nice. Nice. What is... I haven't been following where leaderboard's at all, to be honest. So, what's the leaderboard cutoff at the moment? I actually think I did open it on a page somewhere, but I forgot to actually... Does that just win one so you can retire full-time caster? That's your... Honestly, Lyle, like, it haunts me still. It haunts me. What I would have done to just be able to go... I'm willing to cast every single event and I don't need to play again. I would have done that. Ouch. The rematch, yeah. Don't. Not gonna go into. Not going into that again. I've buried those. I've buried those thoughts. Bottom of the boards is 2720. Cool. Any idea when they usually announce the rest of the dates? I mean, I would be surprised if they don't announce the rest of the dates around Worlds. Right? That would make the most sense. I assume we're going to have loads of announcements after Worlds because we're going to have the new season announcements, all the new Pokemon that are going to come, the new attacks that are going to come, all the changes. Oh, here we go. What are we thinking here? 4, so 80. They're gonna Thunder Punch and Incinerate down, I assume. Right? Send a gift? Sure. Elliot, what's your copium in relation to? Right, I'm sending a gift. I'm doing it. Oh, we're in the bonus friendship thing. So if you are best friends with anyone, you should be opening your gifts for the increased lucky chance, right? Lil. You told me to send gift. Do you want me to open it as well? We're on double friendship, right? Do you want a sticker? Here you go. Do you want me to open yours? Double friendship? If I open yours, you... There you go, Lyle. No more complaints from you, please. There you go. Colin hasn't opened yours? I don't... Yeah, I don't either, Lyle, so just open it whenever. That there's going to be a plethora of positive changes for people. Elliot, I didn't say positive changes. I just said changes. Asa, thanks very much for the sub, mate. Appreciate you. Hope your weekend has been good. Mine's been good. Thank you very much for the sub. Interesting. What are we thinking's in the back? Cress, Skeledirge, another fire, right? Do you know what I'm worried about? I've just realised it's the 30th of June and I've not started team building either. Oh yeah, no, we did. We chose Basti. I forgot. I am sorry. I forgot we decided that as a team. What do you mean? No, no, no. Jongo, no one had given me a better alternative. Vigoroth and 5 Charmers. Oh, it's a Confusion Crest. That's cool. I had actually considered Confusion Crest a couple of months ago. Did I see any of the Dracoviz stream? I'm pretty sure it was like in the complete middle of my night. Shadow Giraffe? I did not see that. I did not see that, but I can't see myself using that at Worlds. Vigoroth and 5 Charmers is not too far away from what I imagine some people will actually use. Just Vigoroth and 4 to 5 ape answers. Why not? Why not? I hadn't started my Christmas shopping. Yeah, wait till 20th of December and then we'll have that conversation. This team was Cress, Skeledirge and Feraligatr. It was Cress lead. It was Cress lead, Skeledirge, Safe Swap, Feraligatr in the back. What are my thoughts on Goodra? I don't know. Confusion Giraffe. Yeah, but it just doesn't have the stat product. Like, if you trap it into the matchups that it's good in, sure. But otherwise, what's the point? It's funny at least. It's funny if nothing else. The thing with Goodra, Calvin, is that its closing ability is really poor, right? So you can't really use it as a closer. It's just not as bulky. Oh, Dodd, did we play? Good game. GG, mate. Just as a closer, it's a bit underwhelming, and it's not quite bulky enough for my liking, just generally speaking. But lots of people seem to be using it, and they seem to be doing well with it, so I don't know. I don't know. I think if you are going to use it, I would personally use like a very high rank one, unless you are chasing certain breakpoints, but I don't know. I think that there are other things that can go for those bulk points more easily. Furfur is fun. Furfur is fun. That is true. How am I gonna... Okay, I need to keep switch here because I want my Licky back on that Gligar, I guess. You've tried Goodra a fair bit in GBL. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing. It's just slightly underwhelming for me. It's just a little bit underwhelming, and I'm like, you only get 6 picks. There are lots of really, really good Pokemon at the moment. Okay, we threw straight away because we're at 100 energy, and also I don't want them to wing attack and throw an attack anyway. Dig, Tristan. Okay, so assuming they shield this, they're going to get dynamic punched. They didn't even shield it, so it doesn't matter. What do I think of Lurantis? Okay, interesting one with Lurantis. I'm trying to remember it, but there is a Lurantis defense bulk point against Shadow Gligar, which is very important for that matchup. And it means that if you safe swap your Lurantis, and if they were to counter swap Gligar, you can win. That's off the top of my head. That's the first thing that comes to my head. So I don't have the numbers to hand. Oh, what would the numbers be on a Lurantis? My guess is going to be something like you have to hit 117 point something defense, which is not actually hard for a Lurantis to hit. Oh, I'm going to have to check it. Oh, I can't. I'm in a battle. Someone go and check that. Someone go and check. Lurantis defense around 117 to 119. I think there's a Shadow Gligar bulk point for a reasonably high attack Shadow Gligar that, when you get a turn advantage, can be pretty key to maintaining switch for a Shadow Gligar counter swap. Yeah, now I have to deal with this, Chris. But the Magnezone doesn't have enough health to do anything, I'd like to think. Shadow Gligar in the back? Oh, this is not easy. I'm CMPing then on this Grass Knot, which was dangerous, but I need to do it if I'm going to deal with that Gligar later. I want this to knock me out. I don't want them to undercharge this. I can't even... I really would like them to try and catch. That's what I really want them to do. But I don't think they need to. They got 2 shields, why would they? I don't think I can beat this. Your shiny Lurantis is 513.6, 117.8 defense. There you go, but can you check for me? There we go. Could you check, Hodge? Could you increase that Gligar's attack to around 109? Okay. Maybe even 110, and just keep tracking where your Lurantis needs to be. Oh, that was a Crest? I forgot about that. Oh, I lose. Do I prefer regular Poliwrath rather than the Shadow? Let me just answer. Let me answer these. Okay, let me answer these. Okay. Paul Asher's team is surprisingly popular. Yes, not surprised. 117.8. Hodge, there is a part of me that thinks that might not be enough, and the reason is because people run Shadow Gligar with higher attack. So let's go find out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go on to single battle. We're going to go and check a Lurantis. So rank 1 Lurantis, 119, right? So it's not a hard defense bulk point to hit. But if you make this Gligar a Shadow with, let's say, 7 attack. Yeah, there you go. 7, 15, 12, right? 109.7. I'll put it on leafage and press battle. Scroll down to what your wing attack bulk point needs to be. So this is saying 117.41. So yours is good against what I assume would be the average Shadow Gligar. But there are some people that honestly go a little bit, in my mind, too high on their Gligar, but they still do it, right? What was it? No, that's way too high, actually. $110.2. There we go. Do you see how that's now 117.98? That's the only reason why I'm like 117.8 is could be dicey, right? Because 110 attack on a Shadow Gligar is not out of the question by any means. Yeah, even 111 attack, some people could do it, right? So just be mindful of that when you're relying on that Lurantis. That you might want a little bit higher. Elliot says 117.5. No. Okay, well hopefully Elliot, I've answered that question. What was the next one? Do I prefer regular Poliwrath or the Shadow? I currently, in this meta, prefer the regular, and I'd go for as high rank as you can in this meta. In previous metas, I've run the Shadow, and I've liked the Shadow. In this meta, personally, the regular has a much better matchup against Feraligatr. And I think that's one of the key Pokemon that you want to try and beat in this meta with the Poliwrath. And you're just a little bit more reliable when you've got the extra bulk. Is there a Feraligatr deep dive? There's one thing I want to show you about Feraligatr that I want everyone to be really careful about, because I don't know if you've all if you all know this. If you don't know this, I'm going to tell you it, right? Because you should know. You should know, and I don't want you to not know this, right? So there are a lot of people that will tell you that a normal Feraligatr is better than a Shadow Feraligatr because it can counter swap into a Shadow Gligar and win, on the basis that it can survive an Aerial Ace and the wing attacks. Okay, and I want to show you what they mean by that. If we were to do 2 shield scenario, and if we were to delay the Feraligatr by its 1 turn switch, this sim tells you that Feraligatr wins. Okay? And so if you listen to that argument, and you listen to these sims, this is how you think this matchup will play out. And sometimes it might play out like this. Okay? But I want, Arbasora, how you doing? I want you to be aware of this, right? If this Shadow Gligar player really wants Switch, don't throw this Aerial Ace. Don't throw this Aerial Ace. Full farm down. Let me show you. 1, 2. Okay, well, this is saying that it's just winning. Oh no, okay, it's because it's not landed the Aerial Ace. Okay, so I'm just going to get up the sim so I can show you first. Okay, so you are the Shadow Gligar user for this example, right? And you safe swap your Shadow Gligar, and they counter swap a Feraligatr. In their head, they might think, okay, I can survive an Aerial Ace, and then I will throw 3 Hydro Cannons and 2 shield your next 2 Aerial Aces if I have to, because I don't want to give up a shield first. That's how a lot of people will play that matchup, or think to play that matchup. But let's say they do that. Let's say you get to your wing attack, and you throw it. Realistically, you probably throw it here, because you throw it straight away. So you throw your wing attack. They no shield it, and you can see that they go down into the yellow. You can see that, yeah? They then throw a Hydro Cannon, which you have to shield because it gets knocked out. And you can see here, you can see your energy. You reach another Aerial Ace. And if you throw that Aerial Ace, you will lose this matchup. You wing attack, you wing attack, you wing attack. You shield their second Hydro Cannon, you wing attack, and you take them out. You come out with 88 energy, but 2 shields down. Or, alternatively, you do throw this wing attack, you do throw this Aerial Ace, and they shield it. This time, when they shield it, when they throw a Hydro Cannon, you have to shield it again, so you still go down 2 shields. And here, this is where it gets a little bit IV dependent. Okay, so here, if they just have the rank 1, for Alligator, you can still take them out. But if they run the rank 3 for Alligator, 0, 9, 15, and you try that same thing again, i.e. you don't throw this Aerial Ace, then they could potentially reach another Hydro Cannon. It gets pretty close on these sims, and the only reason it's close on these sims is because this Shadow Gligar has such high attack that my assumption is this Aerial Ace does 49 damage rather than 48. If we use a more common 6, 15, 14. When Aerial Ace does 48, okay? So if you have a Shadow Feraligatr, if you have a Shadow Gligar that's doing 48 damage into a Feraligatr, they no shield the first Aerial Ace. You shield 2 Hydro Cannons and throw an Aerial Ace in the meantime. If you try and farm down, it gets pretty close. Look, actually this one wins. This one wins. This one has high enough attack. 109 attack seems to win. But just get a bit careful here as the Feraligatr users, is what I'm saying. Because here you can see that you're surviving on 3 HP. And so this is IV dependent. So normal Feraligatr isn't as reliable into Shadow Gligar as some people have been saying, I think. That's the thing I'd say be careful about. And then that Gligar comes down 2 shields, right? But you have a lot of energy, and generally Shadow Gligar energy is pretty universally applicable. And you could say, oh, but what if they come in with Skarmory? And it's like, well, look, if they had Skarmory in the back, they'd probably have swapped their Skarmory into your Shadow Gligar than the Feraligatr. So just be really careful about these IVs here, because as soon as this Shadow Gligar can do enough landing that first Aerial Ace, that normal Feraligatr, even the high HP one, this rank 3 high HP one with 127 HP, even then it might not reach that last Hydro Cannon. So don't commit to a normal Feraligatr if your sole reason for it is this Shadow Gligar counter swap. There might be other reasons, right? Sure. But if it's just the Shadow Gligar counter swap, I don't want you to be in a situation where you then lose that matchup, thinking that you win it, and then you've got to deal with this much energy. Martine is Martine's not a fan of both in the lead. Okay, I'll show you. Martine's not a fan of normal Feraligatr. So in the lead here, let's say you shield their first Hydro Cannon. You're always going to shield it, right? Because you get taken out. Let's say they don't shield your first Aerial Ace. Let's say they call it, or they think they've called it. How does this play out now? So here... Oh, actually, look at this. Even in the lead, if you shield their first Hydro Cannon, and they don't shield your Aerial Ace, you then don't have to throw any other Aerial Aces. You can just 2 shield farm down. You come out with 88 energy. 0 shields, right? You got no shields. You come out with 88 energy and alignment if you need it. You might not want that. You might not want to go down 2 shields. It depends on what you got in the back. If you've got super bulky Pokemon in the back, you might be okay with that. But that's interesting to me. To me, that's really interesting, because that was One of the reasons why people said to run normal for Alligator over Shadow for Alligator, and it just means that the Gligar needs to play a little bit differently, and they'll be fine. You have Shadow Gator rank 2. What I would suggest is use for Alligator with Hydro Cannon and Frustration for now, if that's what you've got. And then at the first week of August or the second week of August, whenever the Rocket event is, then you can get rid of Frustration. I used a Shadow Empoleon with one attack with just Hydro Cannon and Frustration for a while, and it was fine because Hydro Cannon is such a good attack with Stab that half the time it's the attack you want to throw anyway. For Alligator is a little bit interesting because obviously it has access to Ice, which is better than the Drill Peck coverage of Empoleon most of the time, and that's because neutral Drill Peck still does around the same as resisted Hydro Cannon from Empoleon. Hugo, hi to you too. Hi to you too. Okay, let's go do some more GBL. Where were we at? Come back. Torian, I didn't actually go fully into the Feraligatr. That was just one matchup. What I would say is that there are quite a lot of breakpoints that normal Feraligatr can hit that can change some matchups, and there are so many different ones that it's hard to say this is the Feraligatr spread. I do think it will probably depend on what your team is and which of those matchups specifically you want to do better with. And so, as with lots of things, I would say keep a couple. Keep a few of them, and when you're building your team as it gets towards Worlds, or if it gets towards other events, you pick whichever is best for your team. No! I'm getting some slight stutter lag and they've just got a whole Volt Switch through. That's not ideal. Yeah, going straight Hydro Cannon, honestly, going straight Hydro Cannon is a pretty good way to do it. Is Cash Vig Mantine a decent team? I mean, you're pretty weak to a Poliwrath lead, right? You could be fine. You're pretty weak to Crest lead as well. No worries, no worries.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little crazy. Sat at home being lazy. Wanna travel to the mighty, flying with you. Wanna take on the world and do something. Would you by my side like it's nothing? Wanna buy you things that you wanted. Wanna find you, drop top without a choice, yeah. Hair blow round to the window, singing stupid noise with you. I just wanna get to know ya. I wanna go far to the coast, yeah. I wanna dive fast.
This is uncomfortable. I don't have enough HP on Liquid for this.
Growing old like a ghost, yeah. I wanna have kids of my own, yeah. And live a life till it's over. But until we do, it's sleeping too long.
I don't think I can win this. So I think they've got another seed bomb. And I assume it... Ooh! Does it take me out? Probably. Rip. Rip. Team, what is the secret sauce though? What is the pick that no one's really thinking about for Worlds? That's what I'm still trying to get my head around. What is that one pick that everyone's overlooked or just not even considered? Or not considered with a core that can actually be a lot more threatening. A core maybe that hasn't been used. We've seen how strong Shadow Magnezone and Cresselia are together. I keep saying this, honestly, Torian. The Basti just seems to... like it just causes people trouble. It does just cause people trouble. Shadow Sableye. Shadow Sableye is tricky because it's not bulky and it's slow. And its sims against the meta are really not very good. They're really not very good. Mantine a lot less uncomfortable. Oh, is it? Is that true? Is that true? Did I tank for Go Battle Day? How you doing, James? How you doing? Logan, where are you? Are you on the leaderboards then? Is this, you're at 28. Very good, very good. You'd love to make Shadow Drapion work? Maybe next season. Maybe forget to buff next season. Did I watch today's England match? Unfortunately, I did, yeah. I did have to watch. Calvin, when's Go Battle Day? Calvin, don't listen to him, okay? If Logan says something, you need to just pause first. You need to just pause and have a think. I will stretch. Oh, I did a good gym session this morning. Lion, gym session. Lion, coffee, gym, lunch. Good Sunday. Good Sunday. How was my pursuit for Totodile? Honestly, not entirely fruitful. But I do have a shadow I could use. What did I train? I did chest and triceps today. GBL is around World. Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right. There is a GBL week around Worlds. This Venusaur's causing me problems. This is team. Let's focus. This is a Pokemon Go stream. Honestly, maybe this Venu is the secret weapon I'm looking for, and I'm not even joking. Like Venu could be good. You just have to work out how to avoid Skarmory, Gligar, Skeledirge. I guess Skeledirge bad. Hey, we won CMP against the Sazu, that's pretty cool. Venu is great, you should totally... The thing is, Logan, what are your thoughts? Do you think people are going to start shifting back to... Why have I gone blurry? Do you think people are going to start shifting back to Future Sight Crest? I need them to shield this. I need them to shield this, and then I can land an Icy Wind. Still don't think I can win this. No way, no way. I'm afraid we lose, team. You feel there hasn't been enough of a shift to warrant Future Sight Crest? Well, I guess one argument is that the rise of Azu, right? The rise of a dominant fairy is dissuasive to dark types. And in a meta where there are fewer dark types, it's also dissuasive to dragon, obviously. You reduce dark and dragon, and all of a sudden Future Sight looks pretty nice. True. A/. True. How much Spark Lantern? I would say... I would guess that a quarter of the lantern we see at Worlds will be Spark. Do you reckon that's fair? Do you reckon that's fair? 20, maybe 25% of the lantern at Worlds? The reason I'm so low in ELO, I've been tanking all season. Yeah, honestly. I've been there. Hydro Azu over Ice Beam. For GBL, I'm liking it for this specific team. Again, it's one of those things where for Show 6, it just depends on what your team is. Depends what coverage you need. That's all. I don't think any of them are for sure better or worse than any others. I think you definitely need Play Rough, though. You definitely need Play Rough. This is the, yeah, Torian, honestly, like, you can catch quite a lot of people out who have been... Annoying. You can catch quite a lot of people out who've opted to go for teams that are softer against Spark Lantern on the basis that they don't want to see many. What does this use? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the energy ball one. I'll leave the first one. Yes. Oh, this is going to be double fairy. I need to debuff the next fairy then. Oh, okay. 3, 4. We'll debuff this thing instead. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a fairy. I'm glad it wasn't a fairy. There are reasons for Moonblast other than not being helpless versus Dark, says Logan Rocket. Take notes, team. Take notes. Logan wants you all on. He wants you all on Moonblast so that he can bring his own Shadow Typhlosion. Yeah, Slurpuff's not great, is it? Right? Energy Ball and what, Flamethrower? Do you know your Slurpuff count, Severon? If not, why not? Whimsicott, nice. I think Whimsicott has the potential to be very good. The difficulty is that you might end up with a bit of an RPS team because of it. Interesting. Generally speaking, Azu, a shield up, it's pretty good. Give Azu a shield up. It's one of the best closers in the game. Unless there's a Toxapex, obviously. That'd be bad. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Two. Logan, let me read that in a second. I just need to make sure I'm not letting this oh good wait. I don't let this get caught. Okay, not to say Future Sight doesn't have its merits. Matchups like Charger Zeros, up one Psycho Cut, more reliable Licky Zeros, up one Psycho Cut, and smacking things hard for neutral damage like 55% Skeledirge can all be useful. The upsides of Moonblast outweigh those of Future Sight right now. Fair enough, fair enough. Lurgan is a very, very experienced Cresselia user, so if you're planning on using Cresselia next month for locals, Logan says that his DMs are open and he will give free advice and coaching to anyone who asks. So make sure to get in touch. He's very generous and he says he'll send you plushies if he likes you as well. So definitely take advantage of that. Is that Scarm's fault or Whimsicott's fault being RPS? Fair question. Fair question. 2, 3. We got the shield. Wow. Do I come back in with Licky here? I think I might come in with Polly. Yeah, this is not actually super comfortable. Well, especially not now. Good baits. Good baits. And they've done well there. Ah, that makes sense. This is still going to be a little bit uncomfortable, I think. This is still going to be uncomfortable. Come on, Licky. Come on, Licky. Nice. Good game. That was quite a fun game, right? That was quite a fun game. Do I reckon we'll see many Shadow Magnazones at Worlds? No, I don't. I don't reckon we'll see many, but I do reckon some of the ones that we see will be very, very good. But it just doesn't seem to be a super... So, this guy seems to run pretty stupid teams a lot. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another Charmer in the back, right?
Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100. It's all that I wanted, but lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I win and I did it myself. Probably wouldn't if I got the help. Hearing subliminals all on myself. Feel like I'm breaking, I'm falling to hell. Told me I'm sick and I tell her, oh well. Rather be dead than to know that I failed. Live for the chase, life is a race. I'm out of space, so get on my face. I got a taste, well the whole play. Finna get laced if you step out of place.
You reckon Basti in the back? Okay.
My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is us made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like.
It better be Basti in the back.
Down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Never really know when you're gonna go. Why you gotta put another foot in front of yours? Bury them toes, carry them blows. I was never one to care about my man toes. I was like froze, now I'm on far. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. Doing what I'm supposed, but I can't get tired. Run for your life every night. See in the dark.
Right, pretty good, pretty good.
Pipes, all of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chase my peers that I found my spot. About time that I found
Honestly, chat, thank you, right? Thank you, because we don't want to lose to teams like that. We don't want to lose to absolute trash teams like that.
all I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like.
As for Shadow Magnezone, yeah, there are a few players. Shadow Magnezone, in my mind, is one of those picks where if you know how to use it well and you get the most out of it, it is one of the hardest Pokemon to beat. Like, pair it with a Cresselia, Shadow Magnezone plus Cresselia, they are insane. They are insane. You all had ads? Whoever had ads, you just missed us hit expert. That was the point of the stream! Feel free to sub. Right. How many more do we have? Expert hype? Yeah, let's go. We climbed on stream. This is so unlike us. This is so unlike us. Okay. We don't see... Hashtag I was there. Hugo, see? Hashtag Hugo was here. We don't see any Steelix anymore, really, right, in Show 6 at all. A little bit in GBL. Would we hate Breaking Swipe going back to 100%? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'd hate it? No, yes, no, yes. Interesting, interesting. Yes, no, yes. Yes, no, yes, yes. Bastion, it's going to be something weak to this in the back, but Gligar in the back? Gligar in the back wouldn't be terrible, I guess. What's the win con? What's the win con? If we had Scald, it would be helpful. But we don't. We don't have Scald. Oh, I really thought they were going to catch. That's annoying. Oh, Fareed! Wincon is your opponent gets grounded for playing video games after bedtime. Nice. We'll rely on that one next time. Hodge, I agree. I agree. It was a mistake giving Breaking Swipe to Steelix. I agree. I'm just trying to think what impact Breaking Swipe at 100% Steelix would have on Great League now. Because you could change the meta so that it's just not... So it's just not as important, right? Or you could nerf the damage of Breaking Swipe, but give it the 100% back. I think there are ways you can bring 100... I think there are ways you can bring Breaking Swipe back. You don't think it was about the damage? I don't know. I don't know. Non-stab, low damage is pretty rubbish, right? Yeah, Great League was never too much of a problem, though it did get 2 top cuts. Ultra League, honestly, I don't play. Is it still the same problem in Ultra League? I don't know. Is it still the same problem? Have we got Poliwrath now? Was Poliwrath around there before? Seems bizarre. Shielding the surf, but we have to. Are we still gonna lose? Is play rough enough from here? Right, we need to wait for their catch. Right, we wait for the catch. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I wonder if there are any. I'll be totally honest. I haven't played Ultra League, but I do know that we've buffed things like for Alligator, I guess, Poliwrath. Do people use Watergun Lantern in Ultra League? I don't know. Not that I'm expecting some of these to still be around next season, but we'll see.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting
I would like to survive this if I can. It'd be helpful.
some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go.
I'm worried about this catch.
Hope we're not too broken.
Okay, that's fine. Because I think I survived the Thunderbolt.
I know I'm not
I better survive this Thunderbolt.
and I've been
Easy. Easy. Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away.
Nice! Nice. Tapu Fini would shred Steelix. Good point. Good point. I didn't even think about that. Good point. That Dragonite is going to Hyper Beam my Azumarill. Hurricane? Maybe. Hurricane. I got Hurricaned by a Dragonite in Master Prem once. That was sad. That was sad for me. Steelix just made the whole Ultra League meta RPS. Why? Why did it? It's got quite a lot of weaknesses, right? So you tell me. You tell me. I don't know. I don't play Ultra League, but there seems like there's quite a variety of Pokemon that you could play in and beat Steelix with, right? It's not like Skarm where you have to have Lantern, and anything that isn't Lantern still is at risk of being hit by Skarm kind of situation. What if we changed the way that fairies worked? So you had some fairies that could hit Steelix back quite efficiently. Would that be good? Because then they'd resist the Dragon Tail and the Breaking Swipe. I don't know. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not in any rush to make Steelix good. I would like Breaking Swipe to be good again for the Pokemon that needed Breaking Swipe. Yeah, remove attacks, no chance. Spain 3-1. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Okay. Polyrath, do me some good in the back, please. Hmm. Oh, they're gonna catch. They're gonna catch. I'm scared. I'm scared. Easy. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Instead of removing attacks entirely, why not just have separate attack pools for competition and open group? I think it's a little too complicated. Basically, we've already got a lot of accessibility issues and hurdles that we need to overcome, and I think further distinguishing the in-game format from the competitive format probably isn't where we want to go. If anything, we're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to introduce Show 6 into the in-game, right? Into Go Battle League and things. So actually, one thing they could do is just, if they really wanted to, is just ban that attack on that Pokemon, right? I don't know if someone said that, and I'm sorry if you have. Oh, very ridiculous. You basically said that, right? So basically you just say Go-Go is banned. Also, Steelix with Breaking Swipe is banned. Could do that. You could do that. I don't see why you... There's no reason why you can't. Yeah, unavailable legacy attacks and inaccessible Pokemon at the moment. Thinking, thinking. We're gonna do Poliwrath Suite. I think we're okay here, yeah? We're good. We're very good. The unavailable legacy attack slogan, just to that point, I believe they have addressed. Ooh, a Paras. Ooh, a Fuecoco. 1 second. Fuecoco. I believe that in the most recent move update, they were able to take off a lot of those unavailable legacy attacks because they became available in game. So for anyone who isn't sure what I'm talking about, when Pokemon Go first came out, they gave certain attacks to certain Pokemon. For example, they gave Mudshot to Golem. They were then prevented from allowing those Pokemon to be used in Play Pokemon because in the main series games, Golem didn't have access to Mudshot. In the newest generations, as those Pokemon are being given access to those moves, they are now becoming accessible. Sorry, they're becoming available or eligible in Pokemon Go. So there's still a couple. There's still a couple that we're waiting on. Is that true? Quick Attack Starmie still can't learn that in Quick Attack Starmie. Do you know what I would do to address that? Is give it a better attack, and that way you don't have to worry about Quick Attack Starmie. I would give Starmie. I would make Starmie meta relevant by. I would give it. I would change Psywave to 4 energy, and then I'd give Psywave to Starmie paired with Icy Wind. That's what I would do. Because I think Starmie could be cool, right? Starmie could be cool. 2 Fuecoco, yeah. I need Fuecoco. Well, no. I want Fuecoco because I don't have... Firstly, I don't have the XLs, but also I don't have a Lucky Hundo yet, and I want one. Do I have any more sets left? I do. No, I think I've only got 1 set. Psycho Cut? I don't think Psycho Cut's enough. I think you need an insane attack like Psywave with 4 energy. Is Starmie really bad as of now? Henry, ask Henry. Henry, I'm sure you've done I'm pretty sure I've seen a Quick Attack Starmie video from you, right? How was it? Tell us, how was Quick Attack Starmie? With, what does it have? Water Pulse? Thunder? I don't even know what it has. Whoops. It's it's super bad in Master Premier. Nice. Okay, so the last time this team had a Bastion in the back, do you remember? Double Ice, do we reckon? Should we give ourselves a chance? Should we give ourselves a chance of getting that? Because I actually want shields down, even if I have to end up with my Poliwrath into the Annihilate. I'd rather have it with shields down, right? Yeah, Hodge, honestly, I think Psywave is the play rather than Psycho Cut, though.
There was a time that I didn't believe in fairy tales. You used to laugh, saying that someday a prince will change my mind.
Yeah, I can't. I think my only win con was them baiting there, to be honest. Or shielding the Shadow Ball, I guess.
A couple times, you were always by my side. The shoulder I cried on all the time.
Grass Knot. I would nerf Grass Knot as well. I would nerf Grass Knot. Sniping range. Yeah, Lurgan, you asked me why I was so low at the beginning of the evening. I feel like I've done all right. We've done all right. This team's doing pretty good. This team's doing pretty good. We're against Terminator. Oh, this is not ideal.
In my own fairy tale, look how it is now.
Problem is, annoyingly,
On your shoulder when no tears should cry.
this is going to have a lantern in the back, isn't it?
You rescued me
So I'm trying to catch the icy wind on this and then just bring out the lantern anyway.
till you got in my way. As years pass by, I know that I'm right out where I want.
Why nerf Grass Knot? Because it's time for Cresselia to step away from the spotlight. Is why. And Whimsicott has Seed Bomb, so it doesn't matter. No, I'd leave Power Whip.
In my own fairy tale. In my own fairy tale. In my own fairy tale.
Love is just a history that they may prove, and when you're gone, I'll tell them my religion's you. When
I can't beat this either. I can't beat this.
king upon his throne, I'm ready for their stones. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said, I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head. Dance together, forgive him before he's dead. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, head, head. Like Jesus said,
Yeah, I should be. You're right, I should be. You think Grass needs to be buffed? Who is this? Who was that? P7 Terminator. I would nerf. I would personally nerf Crest now. I think nerf it for a little bit, bring it back in a year or a bit. I don't think there's any need to have Crest to be so prominent in the meta when it's not available in raids at the moment. If you were to start the game, basically until you get to a point where you could start the game today and within, let's say, 3 months have access to Pokemon that people have access to. Doesn't have to be perfect, they don't have to be XL versions of them, but just like have some access to them. Unless you're releasing Crest in raids every 3 months, I'm like, doesn't make sense to me to keep it as one of the top picks in the meta. What I'm going to show you. Let's stop this. I want to show you something very quickly. See this? If you guys were in charge, right? If you guys could choose, how many of these would you keep in the top 12 usage in the first event of the September season? The first event of the 2025, the first regional event of the 2025 season, which I think from memory is Baltimore in the US. That's the first event. When you see that day 1 usage, when that graphic comes up on that screen, how many Pokemon from this graphic do you want to still see them? How many do you want to still see from this graphic in the Baltimore? Henry says, what does Henry say? Azu, get rid of Azu, get rid of Skarm, and the rest can stay. Interesting. Psychic says 6. You want to keep 6 of these? I would keep if I could choose maximum 3 is what I would do. I would keep maximum 3. I would say Quag, you can stay because you've only recently risen to prominence. And I'd say Ape and Shadow Gligar, I won't complain if you come in at like 10th, 11th or 12th. And everyone else, get out of here. That's what I would do personally if I had any power. I just get rid of them all. Because you can bring them back. It's not difficult to take something away and bring it back later. The reason why Ape and Gligar I'm not as fussed about is because like they are pretty accessible. They are non-XL. They are non-legacy. Gligar is Shadow, which is one thing that I'm like, that makes me a bit uncomfortable. If it was just as popular with the normal, then I'd be like, hey, Gligar can stick around. Because it's Shadow, I'm like, basically bring it out to closer to 12th. And ideally, just start making them more accessible. But everything else, it's had its time. It's had its time. There's nothing there that I wouldn't say, leave us for a year, come back later. Or even 6 months, right? Even 6 months. This is not good. This is very not good. I'm in trouble. Yeah, no chance. Oh dear. Well, we're dropping. Venu. It's a core breaker. Lurgan's gonna stick with Moonblast on his crests, and then I can just counter up Venusaur, so we're okay. We're all good. If the meta shifts are that big, it might be a bit daunting for more casual PvPers. Sackett, tell me why. Just so I know. Tell me what your reasoning is, and then I can decide my response based on that. Just so I know where you're coming from. Lurgan, if Lurgan told me that he wasn't planning on bringing Crest to Worlds, I would continue to not believe anything he says. Nothing would change. Inapparent. As a casual, you completely agree. Tell me why. Tell me, and I will talk you through what my thinking is behind it. Tell me what exactly. How do I want? This is a normal Magnezone. Okay, so I can actually take a Wild Charge from this. I am going to leave this one. Okay. One sec. I'm gonna I'm gonna come back to you on this.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go?
As soon as I finish this game, I'll address all of those points. But like any other points you have about what kind of change you would want to see in August, what kind of change you're apprehensive of. Surely they have to shield this. They have to respect the Hydro, right? Yeah. Oh, this is not good.
Blacking out, afraid just fading day by day. I'm reaching out for someone who can take away the pain I feel, the things I haven't done at all. I've lost my way, but how I felt I can't recall. Do I wanna try?
No, I can't beat this. I can't beat this. These frenzy planters, they are annoying. They are annoying. What's the Carbink play? Yeah, I don't know. This set has been tough. I don't think we've won one yet, this set. Wow. Okay, we don't want an 0-5, so let's at least end with one win, and then we won't claim it, so that at least we can have a leaderboard placement. Let me finish this game. I may as well finish the set, and then I'll come on to it. And then I'll come on to everything, right? The question for anyone that missed the question was, if we were to have a massive, massive meta update after Worlds, is that something that you would want or not want? Is that something that you have reservations about? Is that something you were excited for? What kind of change would you want after Worlds and why? Logan, you want to queue in? I don't trust you, but sure. How many wins are we on? 16. This is our 30,800th game. Wow. It's too many games. Right, I'm just gonna go in now, Logan. If you get in, you get in. If you don't, it's okay.
Can we just close our eyes and just let it go? You gotta hold on tight.
Or type diversity.
You want, 'cause I'm running. Yeah, I'm running. Yeah, I'm running next to you. Feels like the world is spinning, slipping away. I need a new beginning, a sweet escape.
No! Why have I turned my phone off? Okay.
We keep on running from
Okay, Logan, forget you know what's in the back. Logan, close your eyes. Logan! The audio's desynced. Fair enough.
I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee. And he feels they're only halfway. And before I even argue, he is looking at the window at somebody coming in. It is always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter.
I should probably have
Who has come in, she is shaking.
not lost Switch, huh?
And I look the other way as they are kissing their hellos. And I'm pretending not to see them. And instead I pour the milk.
Why? He's not even in a very future site, so it doesn't matter.
I open up the paper, there's a story of an actor who had died while he was drinking. It was no one I had heard of. And I'm turning to the horoscope and looking for the funnies when I'm feeling someone watching me. And so I raise my head. There's a woman on the outside
Damn.
looking inside. Does she see me? No, she does not really see me. 'Cause
Well
she
played,
sees her
Logan.
own reflection. And I'm trying not to notice that she's hitching
Okay, let's go through. Wait, Elliot, is the webcam still desynced? Hopefully you can still hear me, but if let me know if my audio's a little bit crazy. Yeah, good. Okay, let me scroll through. GG Logan, by the way. Okay, so the first point. Oh, so that counts as sniping. Logan, that counts as sniping then. Just so you know. Okay, so it requires you... So, okay, the question is, would you want a big meta update after Worlds? Some people are apprehensive, and some of the reasons we've had are that it would require you to learn a lot of new matchups, move counts, everything basically about the new mons rising to the top. Other reasons include... Oh, effectively the same answer. Learn types, moves, timing. J Hodge says it would be building all the new stuff. Okay. But then we've got Canadian Boy wanting more things chase to catch. Okay, let me just go off a couple of these things. Let me just go a couple of these things now, right? So a lot of content creators at the moment have been saying that the game this year has been stale, that there's not been a lot to do, that there have not been events that have been particularly exciting, and there haven't been a lot of new Pokemon released or Pokemon that are really rising to prominence in the meta that make it make it very, very exciting. So if we go and have a look at this meta usage chart from day one, I believe, of NAIC. So Annihilate, we know Annihilate came basically at the beginning of the year for many of us, and it's immediately become a staple of the PvP scene. But a lot of the rest of these picks, right, with maybe the exception of Shadow Quagsire, a lot of these rest of the picks we've had for like a reasonable amount of time. Skarmory, content creators' happiness does not equal a healthy game, says Logan. Health is maybe a different point as well. But the first point is that a lot of these Pokemon have been relevant for a long time. Point 2. The update after Worlds has the potential to be the largest update of the year for the PvP season, because once you get into the year, we've seen that there is a reluctance or a hesitance to make major changes because of the impacts it has on the play Pokemon circuit. So if you're going to make any changes at any point, after Worlds would make sense. To the point about learning moves, learning timing, learning when to catch, all of these things, these are actually like core principles of the game, regardless of the meta, right? You should know counts separate to what Pokemon are using them, if you can. That would be a better way to learn how to play the game than only remembering Annihilate as after 8 it's a Shadow Ball. If you can, you're instead knowing that how much energy does counter give, how much energy is Shadow Ball, and you're learning it more like that. I appreciate it's not as easy. I appreciate that's not as easy, but what we would hope is that if we did have big updates, then you would have graphics and content creators giving you those counts, trying to help you out, but also that you're putting some work in to try and learn what the changes are. But either way, it's not going to be something that you're not able to learn, right? J Hodge, who said that you'd have to go and catch and build some things. Well, that's kind of the essence of the game, right? That's the whole point. And if anything, when we talk about accessibility, if you introduce a ream of new Pokemon to be relevant, that would actually put new players on a better playing field relative to older players, because everyone would need to build these new Pokemon. Right now, if you buffed, what's the one I always mention? Pangoro, right? I don't have a Great League Pangoro. Can we have a drop ring remote? Yeah, I do. I fiddle too much. I don't have a Great League Pangoro. I'd have to go out and catch and build. I've probably got something I could build, but like I'd need to go and grind. And I suppose one aspect from a Niantic perspective is that they want people to go out and play the game. They want people to start immersing themselves in these events, and one way that they can get the PvP side on board is actually making a huge PvP change. Right now, a lot of the PvPers, we probably don't contribute that much financially to the game, because many of us don't play many of the events. We just don't. I skip so many events that I would probably not skip if I felt that they were more relevant, right? If Totodile was spawning for more than 2 days and was actually like prominent, I'd have been out a lot more trying to catch Totodile. because I'm like, hey, this is a PvP pick that I don't have I don't have the one that I want, right? So if you had more events like that, and one way to achieve that is by having more Pokemon that people probably won't have built, then that is the essence of the game in that sense. In terms of the move timings and the counts, well, if you learn the fast attack and you learn the charge attack, it doesn't matter, as I say, what runs it. You understand the basics behind it. And also, if there are big changes, everyone's learning it at the same time. Example being, if you nerf counter. If you nerf counter after Worlds, which is what I think should happen, right? If you nerf counter and you buff Karate Chop, everyone has to learn what the new Karate Chop looks like. So it's more of a level playing field. Obviously, the more experienced players, it's easier for them to digest the information, sure. But to an extent, it does give newer players an opportunity to suddenly go, hold on a minute, it's not like everyone else has this Pokemon build, it's not like everyone else knows Karate Chop counts like the back of their hand. You got a chance, And once I'm saying that, and once I agree, by the way, that content creators' complaints is not relevant to a healthy meta, I don't necessarily think that I'm saying massive changes need to result in an unhealthy meta. You just need to put more work and time into it, right? You're going to nerf everything though, Kelly. You're going to nerf everything, right? So if we were to look at this list, right? Annihilate. What would I nerf? Counter. Shadow Ball. Aerial Ace. Maybe X-Scissor. Body Slam. Sky Attack. Probably and Steel Wing. Azumarill. Bubble. Cresselia. Grass Knot. Lantern. Surf. Altaria. Part of the Sky Attack nerf. Shadow Quag I'll leave for now. It's relatively new. Mandibuzz is part of the Aerial Ace nerf. Vigoroth receives both the counter nerf and the Body Slam nerf. Right, that's not even that many changes, and this whole top 12 has basically been nerfed. That's pretty easy. You worried about Basti? Nerf Smackdown. You worried about Charm? Change Charm. Change Charm to more like a Dragon Tail if you want to. Make it more energy based rather than damage based. You want to nerf Razor Leaf? Change it. Change it. You can change anything. You can create the meta that you want to create, but you know, a lot of people have put a lot of resource into these things. I completely get you. I agree with you. Like, you want to build these things, but the advantage of Pokemon Go is that they can come back. Are you sure that Niantic even cares about PvP balance? Do you mean balance in the sense of... Do you mean PvP balance in the sense of they want to create a balanced Show 6 meta? Or do you mean, do they even care about PvP? Which is your concern, Fat Boy J? Logan got the Totodile, yeah. XL Totodile for Great League. Top 4 of the top 5 in the chart were updated in some way this past year, Henry. Yeah, I agree. And that's why I do have some confidence that we will see some big changes after Worlds, because I do think that they want diversity. They recognise that PvP players are wanting change. We don't... I can't remember who I was speaking to, right? I think it was in one of my previous streams when we were talking about NAIC. If NAIC next year still has Lantern in top usage, something's gone wrong, right? Something's definitely gone wrong. So I thought that this meta that we've had has been really healthy. This last 3 months, maybe more, has been super healthy. We've had a great meta. We've had some awesome tournaments with some crazy teams winning these events. But then come September, let's change it. And let's have something new. Let's have Sergio wants Clefable to be meta. Let's have that. I want Pangoro to be better. Alright, there are loads of Pokemon, you know, that you can buff, that you can make really meaningful changes to. That would mean almost everyone here, me included, all you guys included, we'd have something to go out and go and catch. Something to go out and go and play for a little bit more. Something new to build. And all of a sudden the game becomes more engaging. That's why I'm saying it would be a good thing. Right? Yes, there would be a little bit of a bumper hurdle that you have to learn more stuff, but you might enjoy the game a little bit more for the game, not just for PvP. You might just go and play the game a little bit more. And one thing I've been saying, and I think that some people sometimes forget, is that this game, what is it designed to do? This game, what is its selling point? What's its unique selling point? How you doing, Matt Bear? Pokemon Go is designed to be a game that lets all of us go and be a real life Pokemon trainer. That's what they're trying to achieve. They want all of us to go and feel like we are playing Pokemon, but in the real world. And recently, because of the events, you could argue that they're not quite achieving that. And they're maybe not even advertising that that is their target goal as well as they could be advertising that, right? And that causes some people to become disillusioned. But I'm still very hopeful, right? I think the PvP season the last year has been really good. Even though we've not had great events and content for content creators, like, look, I understand that we haven't, but like from a PvP perspective, I've seen growth, right? I want the game to get fixed for sure, right? We've had so many lag issues and things that they've been frustrating. But if PvP just needs a little bit of care and attention, and you can get some wild metas. And I'm a big fan of cool Pokemon being good, right? I would love to see Incineroar. I'd love to see Pangoro. I'd love to see, you know, King Gambit when it's released. All of these Pokemon. I love Annihilate, right? I'm okay with it being nerfed for a bit because it's been top usage for a long time now, for much of the calendar year so far. So I'm open to Annihilate coming down a little bit for now and coming back later. Yeah, you can drop change. We've had that before, right? We've had changes happen just before a Play Pokemon event. The only issue is that, Cax, the issue with that is not just that the team building is difficult. It's that if you make a new Pokemon relevant, it's an accessibility issue because some people just don't have access to that Pokemon. So do you remember when Annihilate was first released? There was a Mankey event going on from memory, and lots of people were like, we just need to catch a Mankey because we don't have a Mankey ready to evolve into a Great League Annihilate. And since then they've changed the rules so that when there's a new announcement or a new update, you have until the next Tuesday. That's the idea behind that, is to give everyone a chance to go out and catch one and build one. But otherwise I agree with you. I agree. I like changing the metas reasonably frequently. I think being able to build a team is a skill in itself. Right? Being able to build your own team is a skill. Being able to pilot a team is a skill, right? Ultimately, being able to pilot the team is more valuable than being able to build it. But they're both aspects of being this real life Pokemon trainer, right? So for me, I don't know about you, but for me, I would scrap this top 12 basically. I'd get rid of it, and I'd say everyone go start fresh. The one thing I would say is I wish that they would announce it pretty soon, right? So straight after Worlds, I would love for them to say, these are the changes that's going to happen. You got 3-4 weeks before the next regional, right? What's the calendar like? I'm just going to check the calendar. Actually, it's over here. We want 2025 season, don't we? 2025, play Pokemon. Okay, Baltimore is on September the 13th. That is 1 month after Worlds almost, right? That's almost 4 weeks after Worlds. I'm not expecting them to give us the announcement. I'm not expecting them to give us the announcement straight after Worlds. But could you imagine them saying, everyone, you got 4 weeks. These are the changes you're going to get. As soon as September hits, you can go start catching now. Go start preparing now. That would be, in my mind, that would be awesome. That would be the way to do it, in my mind. I don't think they'll do that. I think it will obviously be a change that happens just at the end of August and you find out at the end of August. But let's see. Pika, that's going to be your first regional? Awesome. Well, make sure to come and ask for team building help when it comes to it if you'd like some. So best of luck for that. If I were to scrap all of the 12, what would I replace them with? That's a good question. Okay, I'll show you. So, easy way to do this. first thing is what are our bulky options going to be if you were to get rid of basically everything you can see here? Some people might want to see Clod come back in a way that's different to how it's being used now. Clod, I don't think, has ever been top meta, so there is the opportunity potentially for Clodsire to be a bit higher up. Right now, it's a bit of an anti-meta pick. Peak of the changes we're talking about are hypothetical changes for September, just hypothetical. I guess Toxapex you could buff. I'm not that fussed about Toxapex, but you could buff that. Anything else down here that you would buff? Some people want Walrein back. I would buff Ferrothorn. And I would do that by buffing Metal Claw. That's what I would do. And I'd be starting to look. Any Pokemon that's sub 100, I'd be like, could you be meta? Why not try? Why not try? Alola Marowak? Why not? Runerigas? Sure. Swallow? One thing I would say is I do have a preference for Pokemon that are like, and this is subjective, but like are cool, only because I'm like, if we're trying to advertise this game to players that don't play Pokemon Go, and if they were to just see that like our meta was Dunsparce and Miltank and Swalot, some people might be like, don't get me wrong, some people might be like, yo, that's awesome, I love that, that's cool. Some other people might be like, why is Go so weird, right? Yeah, Go to line up for real. Like, some people would love it. And I don't mind like a mixture of like some of the goofier, derpy, memey Pokemon, sure. But like Blastoise, has that been meta yet? Make Blastoise meta. It's not difficult to do. You can do it. There's so many Pokemon. There are so many Pokemon. Fortress, easy one. Easy to buff. Yeah, people who know Pokemon were confused. They were like, what do you mean Charjabug is top meta in Pokemon Go? They were like, is this real? Oh, Dusclops. Actually, do you know what? Dusknoir. I would buff Dusknoir. I'd get Dusknoir into top 20. That's what I would do. Why not? Why not? Amoonguss? Sure. Lopunny. Ledian, maybe not, just because it's high XL. So maybe not Ledian. Claydol? Sure. Easy. Let's scroll way further down. What's all the way down here? Throw. No, that's a regional, so I wouldn't buff that. Wormadams? Yeah, you can buff Wormadam pretty easily. Lairon and Metang both have Metal Claw. If you give them Metal Claw buffs. We're just looking at examples of Pokemon that could enter the top 12 if we were to have a big change in August, right? There are so many Pokemon, and then you just go out and be like, hey, I need to go get a Great League Metang. Or if you're super smart, right, you already think, hey, try and get something Great League of anything lined up just in case. You got 2 months. 2 months, and then you potentially have a massive move update. Get a Great League everything. You don't have to build it. Just get one. Get something. Just so if it becomes top meta, you have access to something until you get a better one. Am I predicting a massive move update? Maybe, yes. Maybe I'm trying to will it into existence. But yeah, I think that that's the best chance for it. The next Rocket Go takeover is beginning of August. I believe it's the 10th of August or around the 10th of August. Yeah, very meticulous, exactly. I just, like, if you want more people to play the game, make a combination of quirky Pokemon cool, but also make fan favorites cool, right? Make Pokemon that, you know, my brother, for example, he has Go. He doesn't really play it, but if I message him and I say, by the way, there's a shiny Larvesta event, he'll be like, okay, I'll try and play to hatch that. Because he's like, hey, that's a cool Pokemon. I'll try and play it. I'll try and catch it. If I say, oh, by the way, Pangoro or Incineroar or Scizor, for example, they are now top meta, he'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try and get a cool. Now, I completely get that, like, there is like 15-year-old boy cool, but you know, a lot of these Pokemon, a lot of people do find cool, right? Matt Beer, he's definitely not 15, but he likes Sizzle, so we'll see. We'll see. If we do get some big changes, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see if we can make any of these cool Pokemon down the bottom higher up, and a fewer. Like, I'm ready for all of these to basically go. These top Reggie, Carbix reasonably new, I guess. It was Worlds last year, but Reggie, Skarm, Mantine's kind of annoying, but I don't really care about that. Basti, Licky, Mandy, Azu, like, they can come away for a little bit. They've had their time. They're 2XL. They let's get away from the XLs for a while. That's what I'd say. Right, team. That is, what did we get to? So, recap is we climbed to 2822, and then we lost a lot of games, but we're not claiming that set until the leaderboards update. Then we'll claim, I'll reclimb, and we'll go from there. Next stream, I guess. What day is it today? Sunday? What do we want? Wednesday? I could feasibly stream tomorrow, but maybe. Okay, either tomorrow or Wednesday. Either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not allowed to be higher elo than you. Matt, I'm getting sniped all over the place. Logan specifically built his team to snipe me, he said. So, you know, gotta be wary about people like him. Solly, thank you very much for the subs. Again, shout out to you for those gifted subs. Hugely appreciate you. Body slam nerf, yes, I just reduced the damage by 5 to 55. That's all I would do. I don't think it needs anything else. And also, yeah, reminder to everyone, you are in a lucky event at the moment. Open the gifts and send gifts to your best friends. Do your daily trades if you can for increased lucky chance. These events don't come around often, but they are very good. And you get double friendship now for opening and sending gifts. So if you're someone who cares about XP, be careful. Be careful that your friends are able to take your XP. If you're not careful. Anyone who's on my friend list, feel free to take the XP. I don't collect XP, but I know that some of you might. Solly, I did warn you when we became friends that my gifting is not optimum. So you cannot blame me for that. Right, let's go and raid Momo. I'm gonna have to copy and paste this just so I don't get this wrong. Yeah, at least you get the pop-up anyway. Team, thanks very much for joining this evening. Hope you have a good rest of your Sundays. And I will see you either tomorrow or on Wednesday. Definitely one, maybe both. I do need to do my partner application as well. I keep forgetting to do that, but I will do that at some point. Thanks very much, team. Catch you later.